Oh, why did my intro not play? Whoops. What's going on, guys? How are we doing tonight? I gotta unmute these. Wait, why is it not letting me unmute you guys? Hold on a second. Hold on. You guys can't hear them. Oh, help.
Everything's gone to hell.
I have them
He's
trapped.
taking
God
my
damn it.
voice.
He's broken everything already.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, boo.
Sorry about that, guys. So we got so this is the first
right
episode of the PandaCast. So we've got wow, Phoenix, your hand looks all jacked up. What's going on, man? The green screen is all. Did you change the settings on your green screen?
I didn't do shit, baby.
Hold on a second. I might need to change.
I look
you.
all right. You gotta just bring down my exposure a little bit.
Yeah,
that's all.
I gotta.
Good
I gotta
evening.
Bring down your own light a little bit, Phoenix.
Hold on, I just gotta change Phoenix's. Is it smoothness? No, that was worse. Oh, there you go. I fixed it. I think. No. Go a little bit. Let's go a little bit lower. Try 60.
Just the brightness.
Boom. There we go. Perfect.
All right.
There we go. We're good to go. All right, guys. So this is the first episode of the PandaCast. So welcome everybody. So we have Jade Princess, wave hi Jay. We got Phoenix, the WHPC.
I'm pretty sure neither of you are confused for being Jade Princess.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you dare see any of that on me.
Do you see these lovely locks here? I can
either of you, I guess, could be a pretty princess.
I've been known to be a pretty princess in my time.
I used to play that game as a kid, and I would play it with my father because I was an only child, and my father would totally do all the jewelry shit with me. He's a good dad. He's a good dad.
What was? Oh, that you talking about the board game?
Pretty princess. Yeah, pretty princess.
I totally.
Jade was trying to become ruler of the entire universe.
It's so funny. I forgot that was a board
Well,
game.
see, there you go.
You forgot it was.
Apparently, she's the world champion, so now she's the ruler of the world.
So she's
something like that. At least in lineage too, maybe. I think she has to maybe marry the king of Sweden for that though.
Marry the king of Sweden. All right, guys. So we got some interesting topics today. So good
evening.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff we're going to cover. So just to kind of give a little brief overcap. So we're going to talk about if we can get to everything tonight, but talk about some of the pushbacks and some of the games that we have all been anticipating. I know for me it was Final Fantasy VII. Talking about that.
I'm okay with pushbacks.
What's up?
I'm okay with pushbacks, man.
See, I'm okay with pushbacks if there's a reason for it. Like which is another topic.
We need to make this game awesome.
Exactly. Well, look at what happened.
Your fucking horses, nerds.
Bro, look at what happened with Warcraft 3, man. Like Warcraft 3 was a fucking
big pile
disaster.
Of donkey dick.
Dude, it was awful. It was awful. Like, did you see all the stuff with that, Jay? Like all the things that went wrong with Warcraft 3?
Yeah, with Warcraft 3 I did. Yeah. We actually were talking about it on Sunday, me and a group of people, about how they didn't deliver on a lot of things that they promised.
It was literally nothing.
However, I don't think that's a result of them rushing it through development to reskin it. I think that's just Blizzard at this point.
They somehow figured out how to fuck up a game that was already perfect.
Exactly.
It was already an okay game, and then they released a new thing that broke their old game that was working. Yeah, that's
the worst part. That's the worst fucking part is that the old game isn't even playable anymore. You can't if you wanted. What's up?
No, because what they did was, if you're not familiar with the story, is what they did was, if you still there's a large Warcraft 3 community still out there playing games for the last, I don't know, however many years the game has been out, and they've just been enjoying themselves over in their little weird corner of the internet, and we love them because they're good people. But anyway, they've been playing that game perfectly fine. They didn't want to upgrade to this newer version just yet because they wanted to see what was going on. So they see all the problems and they figure, oh, good thing I didn't buy that. I'm going back to play Warcraft 3. What the fuck is this update? Why am I on Reforged anyway? Because they just upgraded those old Warcraft 3 everythings to the new thing no matter what. and they're
which
stuck
again is
now
just a
playing a
Blizzard
game. Yeah,
thing. That's
Yeah.
just Blizzard practice cash grab. That's not
it's
that's
mind-boggling.
not a development poor development schedule or anything. That's just Blizzard didn't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, and
And
that's the
so, I
unfortunate
mean,
part, though, Jade.
when's the, like, if you think about, each industry is on a different fiscal calendar, right? So like the retail industry, their fiscal year ends in what, January or February, because they want to end the strong quarter with sales. So when does the gaming industry, what's their general fiscal calendar? Because if it's about the same, because they're counting on Christmas to make those to make the end of their year strong with console sales and game sales and everything else, then I can see how they turned it into a cash grab exercise, because they're just trying to add more to their cash flow so they can report good earnings.
Yeah, and that's been my problem with them and a couple of these other companies in these last couple of years. It's because they're a lot of the decisions they're doing is just a lot of that. It's like, okay, how can I squeeze more money out of these people?
But
And
see,
then, but the worst part with it, I think, with the Blizzard thing is that they promised and showed us a lot of shit that then showed up not even in the same ballpark.
well, the thing with Blizzard, though, I mean, I get what you. I
But
get
how
what
many
you.
times have they fucked us? Yeah.
Well, they definitely fucked
It
us.
never used to be that way.
Exactly, and that's
I
the
think
point I was
that's the
trying to
biggest
make.
problem
Blizzard,
because
I
with
agree.
these guys, you guys were never like this. What the fuck?
Exactly. When also too, Blizzard put a really good. They were always very true to their core titles. So they were very.
Yes.
They always put a lot of care into StarCraft, into World of
But now
Warcraft,
it's
into
Activision,
Warcraft,
so.
and then just to completely like just massacre a game that was already a fucking masterpiece. To literally just like not only destroy the new remake and charge
One of
people
their
for
most beloved titles of their entire everything. It's
Exactly,
one of their
exactly.
most beloved IPs of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and according to Market Watch, their Activision, which we can't forget
Right.
that part as we talk about this hunk of shit, Activision Blizzard's fiscal year is January through December, so it makes
is.
even less sense.
So they're
why they did
trying to
what
get
they
money.
did.
They're trying to get money right now, basically.
I have no problem with the fact that they want to remaster the game and update the game and do all that stuff, but to then release a broken version of a game that works fine the way it is.
Yeah.
And then the people, and then the shadier thing on top of that is it's obvious why they did it that way for the old getting retrofitted into the new thing, is because they changed their terms of service now to where anything that can now be created. Oh yeah, this is the shittier part of it. In those people that have been playing Warcraft 3 for like 15 years, they've had hours upon hours upon hours of created map contents in games that they played
and it's broken.
Right?
It's completely
Not
broken
including Dota. There's a whole thriving community of a lot of these created maps. When they get pushed and merged into this new thing, Blizzard did the they're concerned about space on your hard drive, so they deleted all of that shit.
How generous of them to consider my hard drive.
See, but you know what? I don't.
And that same week said that any new thing created on their servers, they own.
That's
just one last fucking kick in the nuts.
I
what the
feel
fuck?
like that this is Activision, right? This
but
is
you know,
Activision terms of service, not Blizzard.
No, it's Blizzard, because Blizzard's still they're still butthurt about losing Dota. That's the problem. And so
I understand that, but there wasn't another Dota sitting around in any of these people's files that they've been playing on for all this time. They're not making any money. I understand for the future they don't want to lose that, but I've got 12-year-old friends that we've been playing on this same game type in this same map, and we've got this whole thing that we just do that it's only like the 6 of us use. Why should I now have to lose hundreds of hours of content because you fucked up and didn't figure out a way to get everybody to be able to monetize Dota properly?
Exactly. Well, when also too, I mean, and the bad part about that is that now what they do is now you don't even have a chance to capture that magic that happened with Dota. I mean, look at what happened. it spawned a whole fucking new genre of games that didn't even
out
exist.
Of just a love of this cool, weird, kooky game type that you were never gonna build.
Exactly.
You were never gonna build. You were already on the back foot on that one. With League of Legends was coming around the corner anyway. League of Legends was after Dota, right?
It was League was after Dota. So Dota was first. Dota was first, and it was League of Legends. And that spawned. I mean, there was Heroes of Newerth. There was Heroes of the Storm. I mean, there were so many games that were spawned after that.
Most of the really big titles that got esportsy popular in the broader sense of things, or a fair amount of the big ones, it's like CS and Dota, though two that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Are all fan made.
Yeah.
Like that was Counter-Strike's a fan mod of the original fucking Half-Life.
Sukasa brought up a good point. Sukasa brought up a good point in chat, and I actually didn't know this. He said Diablo 2 was made by Blizzard North, and now Blizzard North doesn't exist. And Diablo 3 was pretty lackluster because it was a different development team, which totally makes sense. I had no idea because D3 did not have the same feel that Diablo 2 had at all.
No, not at all. And as a long and I agree that Diablo 3 was lackluster. It brought really nothing new at all, except for seasons, right? But even
console.
then, in console, but in general, it was not a new interesting experience. The story was just kind of
Let's talk about how it took us fucking 2 years to get a necromancer in Diablo 3. Let's talk about that. I was fucking mad, dude.
Let's talk about the fact that we still don't have an Amazon back.
And
we're not gonna, and it doesn't look like that we're getting one in D4.
Yeah.
But chat brought up a really good point that there's a lot of pressure because they haven't been doing anything outside of Overwatch, and I'm actually quite disappointed. Still, I think that we've talked about this before in another series, is that I am really disappointed and frustrated that Overwatch 2.0 is a whole standalone game when really everything that they're adding does not sound enough.
It's just PvE content.
It's just PvE. That's
Overwatch
1.5. Patch that shit in.
You can pretty much still play Overwatch as is with all the new maps and everything. With that, if you don't want the PvE version of it, you just keep playing Overwatch.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm telling for the ladies and gentlemen at home.
With all of the modes that they've added with custom game modes and everything, you can have PvE in base Overwatch as it is today.
Kinda. I mean, I haven't played in a while, but from what I remember, it was like you can do some stuff, but this would be
the custom game modes are fucking huge now.
Okay.
They're huge. Yeah.
And is it easy to pick up other people's creations and stuff like that if you want to list it or next and easy? Okay, cool. Because that was the thing that I was missing from that. I felt like I had to do all the work on my own and see,
and this is one of the things too, like with all this fuck up that Blizzard is, and this is how you take down a Titan. Like, this is how these indie and these small companies are able to compete on that level. And you look at GGG, right? You look at Grinding Gears Games, right? They're the guys that make Path of Exile. So they're making Path of Exile 2. And they have engineered the game. So Path of Exile 2 is not going to be a standalone game. It's going to be added to Path of Exile. It's going to be like a patch. And it's going to literally, the way the game's going to be set up is that it could literally be played for life. Like, you could literally keep playing for the fucking rest of your life. And like, that's such a cool concept because they wanted to make a free to play game. They made a great game, and like, they're not out there money grubbing and, like, you know, putting their hands out, like trying to get any chance they can. I mean, they obviously they do have things you can buy with currency because they have to make some money, but it's all cosmetics.
Free to play. You can do. I don't mind you making microtransactions and stuff for your game if you're giving away your entire game for free. Don't put it behind any timed thing where if I get to a certain level, I got to now wait 2 days or 5 minutes or whatever to keep playing the game. But without, because that's just an arbitrary paywall. But I mean, if there's, battle passes or whatever and all that stuff, I don't care because your game is free. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal. It's when you charge me.
And the free base game is a quality fucking game.
It's a quality game that I can spend time with. I don't have to do it. Like Dauntless is a solid idea of what that does well. Fortnite is kind of the way you make money in the free to play universe. You have a core game that everybody likes, and then it's all a bunch of skins on the outside. But like, don't charge me $100 for your game potentially for all some extra bells and whistles and shit, and then throw a $10 battle pass that's grindy as fuck in the middle of it 2 months after it's out, sort of thing. You know what I mean? You've already charged me money. Like, this battle pass is like, I don't need to pay for more. You're asking for more money already. What happened to the $60 we all just gave you?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Phoenix. I'm
Well,
trying
and like,
to
or
fix your chroma.
look at a game like Escape from Tarkov, right? And
Mhm.
how quickly that's grown in popularity. Granted, because they did a couple of partnered streams, that it's really taken off. But I mean, Tarkov is an actually very, very interesting game. They work to make it new player friendly every couple months when they reset the servers to do a wipe. And yeah, and it's an interesting entry into gaming, whereas everything else that's coming out of Activision / Blizzard, it's just reskin and reforged, and there's nothing new out of it at all. What's the Overwatch was their what
Last
most
big thing.
their last big interesting IP. Nothing else has been new from them.
Right. And the next thing that they're gonna have theoretically is more Diablo.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like new.
I mean, I think
So.
some remasters do well. As someone brought up Black Desert Online after like 4 years, I think that one's actually a good remaster because it's made it much more accessible for everyone to play. And there have been a lot of changes in the way to render graphics that make BDO a really, really beautiful experience. And they keep
Yeah.
adding new and interesting content to it. With the what is it, the guardian or whatever, the new barb in it. It's just it's interesting. But
Hey,
yeah, so I mean, when it comes to pushing other games back, that's fine if they're going to make a real effort.
If they're gonna make an effort to actually try to make it better,
remastering,
exactly.
or a real effort at executing the full development, like pushing back Cyberpunk, you know, because it's a new IP for a studio that is very precariously really based on the revenue that they continue to get out of Witcher series. You know, I mean, Project Red, they do a lot of, they have a lot of interesting little things that they're a part of, but in general, like, they're really only known for The Witcher and everything associated with The Witcher. So I mean, a lot of shit is riding on Cyberpunk for them. So
and
I think that was
they have
smart,
a trust
smart
build
choice.
up too by the fact that those games were all fucking awesome. And to anyone that just, as long as they don't look, if you're gonna push it back, fine. You're gonna push Doom back 3 months, fine. As long as Doom is fucking
amazing,
awesome.
yeah.
Because if it's awesome at the end of the day, I can wait a couple more weeks.
Well, let's go through the list of all the games.
If it's a steaming turd pile,
then
and you delayed it 3 years, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So let's go through all the games that have been pushed back. So Final Fantasy VII has been pushed back.
Fine.
Cyberpunk 2077 has been pushed back. The Last of Us 2 has been pushed back. There was another one too.
Wow.
Yeah, there was another one too. I think it was it the Halo collections? I think some Halo games is becoming like a pushback too.
Oh, Infinite again?
Yeah.
You mean infinitely
Doom,
never coming out?
Doom also got pushed back as well. Well, I mean, look at Final Fantasy VII, you know, and this is the thing, man. Like, there's like a running joke now. They say, oh, well, this game's never going to fucking come out because they've been teasing this remake for 10 years now?
At least from what we saw some really cool shit. So if that's really what they're working on and that's really what we're getting, I'll wait. Yeah. I don't need another I never needed another Final Fantasy VII anyway.
Well,
the fact that I'm getting this potentially, and it's gonna look,
it looks amazing.
Good.
The thing that's cool about it too, Phoenix, is the fact that it's not just a remake. It's like a reimagining.
No, it's a completely redoing thing. Yeah. I wasn't aware that that's what they were doing at first. So when I got within the last trailers and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. All right, cool. I'm on board. I'll give it a shot for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be very hard for me once I see this game being played by other people to go, I kind of need to get it.
Yeah.
If it ends up being as good as promised. But
Yeah.
that's always the thing. You can never, especially in 2020 now, you can't just assume something's gonna be good.
So
there have been so many fucking
just failures, just absolute flops. Well, and also too,
ourselves in our asses just when we were about to let them go for shit.
Well, and the thing is too, there's also games that literally never even come out. Like look at EverQuest
so
Next.
Much vaporware, yeah.
I mean, look at EverQuest Next. I don't know if you guys are EQ or know anything about EQ. But so they teased.
I was told a long time ago to never play EverQuest because it would
because
steal
you're a
my
bunch
soul.
of nerds.
But no, I mean EverQuest is a great game, and the thing is that they had EverQuest Next, right? And they were teasing it for a long time, and basically they essentially they had this sandbox environment that where literally it was a breakable environment. Everything could be breakable. People could like dig tunnels. You could build castles. It was a completely player altered, terrain and everything. But they realized that at the time they just couldn't implement it with the software that they had, and so but they kept teasing.
Did they know about Minecraft? Because they could
right.
I
Minecraft.
I agree, and for whatever reason they couldn't figure it out. I don't know why they couldn't figure it out.
Just play that Harry Potter Minecraft.
Yeah, I know, right?
The other day, how cool was that thing? If you guys saw that one,
what Harry Potter Minecraft? What?
Oh yeah, go check out. Let me see if I can find the video for you. But somebody made a game within Minecraft completely based on Harry Potter, and they built everything.
That's hilarious. That's
from
awesome.
Harry Potter,
dude. It's pretty crazy the shit that people can build into Minecraft. Like I had a buddy of mine. He literally made. So I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. He made the entire Drangleic castle in Minecraft. Like the whole huge castle. He fucking built it. It looked amazing.
That's intense.
Yeah,
that's intense.
I'm sharing it in the Discord. Do it wrong.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
It's awesome. Like it's one of those where you think this is going to be silly, and then you see it and you're like, "Holy shit, this is fucking awesome."
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately I can't click on it
Where's my train ride to Hogwarts?
You don't get your invitation to Hogwarts.
So is it still not coming out? I thought just being as on the rise.
You cut out there a little bit, Jade. What was that?
I said, is it still not coming out? Because I thought it was still being teased.
So here's the thing. So it's kind of a whole big thing. So not because this could be a 30-minute talk. I don't want to get too in depth with it. But basically, the studio that took over EverQuest Next, they said after 2 or 3 years of teasing it, they were like, listen, we don't have the technology to do this. On top of that, we decided we realized that we lost what made EverQuest, and so we're just not gonna make the game. And so, but then the new studio took over. So EverQuest, which used to be Variant, which was Sony Online, they split into 3 separate divisions. And one of the divisions, I can't remember the name of all the divisions, but one of the divisions, it was Daybreak Gaming. The division that's supposed to be taking over EverQuest, they're talking about how there's going to be a reimagining, and so they're teasing it more. And they said that there's definitely a potential for the franchise. So there is there's a potential there. But the bad thing is though, is this particular studio that took over.
There's not enough nerds that want to play EverQuest, so nobody's willing to put it out again.
I mean, dude, like Tsukasa said, P99 is still huge. There's still thousands of players. I mean, it's still a thriving. I mean, you still get probably like 400 or 500 viewers on Twitch for P99 EverQuest. So, and that's the old school EverQuest, So, but the problem is though, is this studio that took over. They're promising that they haven't officially said they're going to be making EverQuest 3, but they've kind of dropped little hints here and there. But the problem is this studio. Let me see if I can pull it up, but. Daybreak Gaming, there's like a list of games that they have.
There's just so many other options for MMOs and stuff like that.
There's so many other things.
There
were quite a few. I mean, when EverQuest came out, I was playing. Gosh, what was I playing? I think I was in the middle of like getting into the guild, or not the Guild Wars.
Okay.
When EverQuest came out, and I was thinking about jumping into EverQuest because I had a couple friends that were playing it, but truly they were like, no, don't, because it will steal your soul. It will steal your life. And
So-
but these were friends that were also farming on EQ to make money off
That's
like
where it
real
gets
money.
weird.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. I had a buddy of mine that did
and
that.
the
Really
funny
weird.
thing is that they weren't even, they weren't even like your stereotypical gamers that I ever would have pictured doing that.
Yeah, 'cause
Like
it's the
these were
job. They're
guys that when
treating it
we
work.
had LAN parties for Unreal Tournament, like they didn't come over, and
Yeah.
that's eventually I found out why, because
They were farming money
They
at
had to
EverQuest.
farm more money.
Well, you
They
know
had
what's
to work
it's so
that
crazy
day.
how much money those people make though too. Like one of my wife's friends, the guy
wife.
she was dating, he was making like $10,000 a month farming gold and
Jesus.
WoW. Like he had he showed me his server room. He literally had a fucking server room
That's
of
crazy.
bots just farming gold. It was insane,
weird.
dude. But
That's way too much effort.
But yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay, congrats for Souls on the guys, and for those of you listening, one of my viewers just got any % hitless in Dark Souls 2. So congrats, man. But yeah, so the list of games that Daybreak Games has canceled that they were in charge of. H1Z1.
Okay, the fact that you're starting out with saying the list.
Yeah.
H1Z1.
More than 5.
H1Z1. Okay.
Okay.
EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, The Matrix Online, PlanetSide, Star Wars Galaxies, Clone Wars Adventures, Free Realm,
Yeah.
Vanguard, Saga of Heroes, DC Universe Online, PlanetSide 2, and then H1Z1 King of the Hill.
They all had
online as well. Wow, these guys really fucked up.
They fucked up,
Well, I
yeah.
don't think
And
they-
these are the
they-
guys.
they-
And
they
these
had
are the guys
moderate
that are in
success from-
charge. These are the guys that are in charge of doing EQ3.
They've had
So-
moderate success with each one of those titles
Yeah.
for a number of years, so it's not like they're a complete failure. They
Yeah,
just turned them off due to lack of
those-
interest.
No, those are kind of also ones that were released in early access and then never made
Just
it.
never
out
made
in
it. Yeah, they made all their money in
Oh,
early
They
access. And
decided to
Alright.
stop because then they
Like,
decided to
oh.
stop supporting it and move
Like,
right
well,
on.
what's the one that's being accused of fraud now? The space one.
Which space one? Oh, I know what you're talking
You're
about.
talking about EVE Online,
A
are you?
Star Citizen.
Oh, Star Citizen. Yeah.
Star Citizen.
Yeah.
The one that's
Yeah.
perpetually early access, even though they've something like raised over
Like $2 million, right?
millions of dollars, and they are still not really.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean,
everything
and
that
I
they
was
have as
about
far
to
as the
say,
game
like,
looks cool, but
what they have out now looks cool. That it's kind of like, oh, what was the thing like back in the day where Second Life? It's like
Oh, yeah.
Space Second Life.
Space
That's what
Second
that's
Life.
that's what it is
Second
now.
Life in
Space Second Life
space.
without the like dirty alleyways yet. But
Yeah.
but so but it's just I was getting ready to say, like, this is why I play so many indie games,
Yeah,
because
you get so much more joy out of them.
because they have
And
so
they're
much
finished.
passion
And
for
love
the
into the game.
project
Yeah.
that they actually want to see
Yeah.
the project through to completion.
Yeah.
And there are several studios, indie studios that are like on the larger end of indie that have a good track record also
Mhm.
for completing games, getting games out of early access, and developing quality games,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But now that you mention things like Star Citizen, I'm like, oh, well, okay,
Yeah.
I guess not all indies are good indies.
No,
but
not
Yeah.
all of them are good indies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that goes for everything. You build a track record, but like with the indie stuff, I think that's more of what I play lately. I
Yeah.
play a small handful of bigger name titles, but they're few and far
Yeah.
between.
I'm the
where
same way.
the most playback I'm getting has been from Wizard of Legend, Hades, Realm Royale, and I'm sure I can, and like Dead Cells.
Is High Res considered indie studio still? I guess so.
It's a smaller game. It's not one. It's not a
Yeah.
major.
It's not a
AAA
AAA.
game.
It's not a AAA
Yeah,
game.
It's not a major AAA game that
Has
everybody and
anyone
their mom
played
wants.
their alpha yet? Rogue Company. I downloaded it, but I haven't dove into it yet.
I
What is-
didn't know that there was a thing out there.
What is the name of the company? Or what's the name of the game?
Rogue Company.
Oh.
It's in alpha release right now, only through the Epic Store, but you cannot stream it, you cannot make any videos for it. It's truly just alpha testing at this
Mhm.
point. But it's so it's definitely early access. But I was
Yeah.
just curious if anyone dove
It
into
looks like a
because-
modern combat shooter thing.
Yeah, it's like I think that it's kind of like Battle Royale, like reskinned slickly into an Apex type of universe.
Yeah, with some Overwatchy type abilities. Apex, yeah, it looks like Apex meets Overwatch.
So there was
Apex kind of took some things from
exactly.
Overwatch with the
some of the abilities and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a slightly tweaked version of Apex.
So there was a game that came out in alpha that we all picked up over the weekend. Me, Sin, Dairy Queen, and Icky, and we were playing called GTFO. And I don't know if you guys have saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's been out for a little bit now.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's like, imagine like Dead Space meets Dark Souls meets Left 4 Dead.
Mhm.
Like,
Did you have to pay for the alpha?
Yeah, it was. I think it was like $25, $30.
That's bullshit. Because what I was describing about this rogue company coming from high res, this is where I think the difference is in business practices, right? Because for them, this alpha is free. I think it's bullshit to have to pay
for an alpha.
Alpha. I really do. Because
but when you're paying for that alpha, what do you get?
That's less game than it is early access.
True.
Yeah, I agree. Well, yeah,
what do you get when you're paying for alpha though? Are you getting the game on completion as well?
That's
not always.
Not always, yeah. But I mean, that's what they said.
Right to play the alpha, and that's it, and you won't get anything after that. Because
usually
it's like a pre-order sort of situation where if you pre-order,
sometimes.
But that's if they actually release the game, though.
Yeah, that's if they release it. So I did a test for a game that I just played recently, A Long Way Down, and they gave me the key. So my key was still valid after they released the game, and even though they released the game into early access, my test key is still valid. So I still got those updates anyway. And to me, I feel like that's the right way to do it. Either it's all alpha, and then once the game is completely released, then everyone has to pay, including testers or whatever. Or you let your testers keep that game, depending on like how large your group is. You let your testers keep that game, and they still get all the updates because they had to deal with the bugs and shit. So, that reminds me, I need to send them a bug report since the game crashed.
Sukasa brought up a good point. So 7 Days to Die came out in December 2013, and it's still in alpha.
That's true, and it is still
7 years later, it's still in fucking alpha.
I was told that game is actually very, very good. It is worth the $15 because it is getting constant updates, and that the server population.
So just fucking release the game then. Like, why is it still in alpha?
Just call it finished.
I think when you can keep something in early access or alpha, then that way you manage people's expectations. Like, the server went down today. Oh fuck, game's still in early access.
But at some point, I get that to a point, because there's at some point you gotta go. It's like, look, it's been how long? Can't we just put the final label on it? And you guys get your fucking shit together.
Yeah.
No, it's because everybody already spent the money.
Yeah, they already spent all their money. They don't fucking have money anymore. They already went out and bought their cars and their houses and shit.
About 7 Days to Die, they try to convert other people into playing this game because they're like, fuck, I just need like 5 people to tell their friends.
Look, I just need 350.
That's like a fucking MLM, man. That's like a multi-level marketing scheme. Jesus.
Look, if you just give me 350, I'll just be on my way. Fuck this, man, so you can't have no free.
I'll gladly pay Tuesday for a hamburger today.
I'll throw in this soap to clean your windows too. Leave no behind, I swear.
Look, the buff comes right out. Can you imagine, bro, if some guy did that shit to your car and then like the scratch didn't come out of your car? I'd be like, yo, like, motherfucker, you scratched my car, dude.
But yeah, so I didn't know, since we're talking about games, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about games that you're looking forward to, because we just kind of been shitting on games being
that come out,
being vaporware.
Most of them are the ones that I'm really looking forward to are pretty much pushed back.
Yeah. I mean, Elden Ring. I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring for myself.
Ring, yeah.
Which
I'm really looking forward to Rift Breaker.
What's that? I haven't heard of that.
Rift Breaker is it's a game that is coming out by Exor Studios. So if you ever played any of their stuff like Xmorph Defense or Zombie Driver or anything like that, so it's Xor Studios, and they are making a game that's kind of StarCrafty in a way, that there is like some quick base building that has to be done, but then this person flying around in an exosuit also has to periodically fight off swarms, and then you can like upgrade your exosuit and everything. And I'm really looking forward to that.
It looks like StarCraft, but with one person instead of an army.
It is, basically. So if you were to take like a top-down isometric, lock it like StarCraft, but then you build a factory like Satisfactory, and then you have all of the fucking Zerg come at you. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Interesting. I got into one that I haven't really checked out yet. I'm in I think it's an alpha still, called Darksburg, which is essentially League of Legends meets Left 4 Dead.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
They kind of don't tell you anything though.
So it's like Dark Souls.
You
figure it out, noob.
When I get dropped into one of the co-op missions, and the co-op is it's your 4 heroes versus the AI zombie horde minion type things, and there's like their weird like Dark Age themed stuff to it. So there's one demon hunter and one's a werewolf, and there's all sorts of stuff on that. But I got dropped in and the game had already started, so I was picking up like an empty bot space that now turned into me, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? And
Phoenix
you just kind of have to figure it out. Yeah, exactly. I am not a robot. But yeah, it seems like a cool idea, but I haven't gotten too much into it yet. It feels like there's a lot of work still to do, but it's a pretty cool, interesting concept.
So for those of you guys that are listening, and will be listening to this later on, my daughter is here with me, and she wanted to say goodnight to everybody. Say goodnight, Jay. Say praise the sun.
Good night, Jay.
All right. Good night.
That's good parenting.
Yeah.
So did I tell you, Grolem, about this game that I backed on Kickstarter called the Demon Knights of Enchron?
That is what now?
That Demon Knights of Enchron. It's supposed to be coming out in June of this year. It hit its goal, and the thing that was interesting about it that I mean, it calls itself, and I'm just reading right now the Kickstarter: revolutionary dark action RPG, deep traditional 2D fighting game mechanics in a dark gothic world. But what was interesting is that some of the people that are working on it, some of the artists that are working on it, came from the Dark Souls team. So there are people that work on this game now that came from Dark Souls, Street Fighter, Tekken, and Relic, Bandai, Capcom, and EA. The lead character designed was the original artist for Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
Well, that's actually, well, wasn't that Miyazaki though? Isn't Miyazaki the original? No, he wasn't. Miyazaki was brought in afterwards. Miyazaki
it says an original artist.
Okay.
So our lead character designed Gus was an original artist for Dark Souls and Demon Souls from Software. Right. There we go.
He was one of the
3D artists came from Capcom, et cetera, et cetera. So, and like one of the guys came from UK. So, I mean, it's got pedigree for being decent. A Kickstarter project. Yeah, here, I'll link it. I think I've linked it to you.
Put it in chat, and I'll pull it up on the screen.
I thought we were going to do that. That's why I've been sharing.
Yeah, so that one I'm really looking forward to. As much as I am also looking for Elden Ring, that one has clear pedigree. But are you guys, what about Neo 2? Because I notice a lot of people are getting back on Neo bandwagon, even though the game has been around for a little bit, but now I think really hyped for Neo 2. And I actually had someone tell me that it's everything that they really wanted from Sekiro instead of what we got.
For what? For Elden Ring?
I didn't play any of those ones.
Can you zoom on your browser a little bit?
Yeah.
I sent you a YouTube of the gameplay trailer too.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the game here. So action RPG, story mode, offline, single player. We'll copy the game for $30. That's not bad.
Oh, excuse me. Breaking news: Telltale Games is closing down.
Yeah,
no,
that's actually
nice.
pretty interesting. Yeah, so somebody in chat said that Telltale Games closed down or is closing down, and the people who got the rights to The Walking Dead are actually one of the people who helped create the Walking Dead comic books. That's pretty interesting.
Wow.
I didn't think that was news. I thought they've been done for like 2 years.
That's kind of
That
cool though.
Telltale was done? I didn't know that they were
Yeah.
done. I think that's a link to the gameplay of Encore, that
Yeah.
YouTube link from Phoenix.
Oh, the one
Yeah,
that Phoenix linked?
After
Okay.
everyone got
Let me-
fired.
let me-
Wow, what a bummer.
Let me click on this real quick.
I did not realize that. You know, I had never played a Telltale game until I played Tales from the Borderlands.
Wolf Among Us.
That style of game had never really intrigued me, but I'm like way into the Borderlands.
Long ago, dragons
mythology
once
and
claimed the
everything,
skies
so
and
that one was really
ruled the
good.
deep.
Might I suggest
This
Wolf
was a
Among
great
Us?
land.
One of my
Yeah,
most
I'm sure
favorite
that was
games
really
up
good.
there.
From caverns deep
Oh, it's
below.
so good. It's
But the
film
kings were
noir meets
betrayed.
classic fables.
So
And
this is the
cities
trailer
burned.
for
Phenomenal.
Demon Knights of
And an
Encore
age of darkness spread upon
that
the
we're
land.
looking at right now.
Definitely getting some Dark Souls vibes
Together we
here.
Oh,
survived.
100%.
We
And that's why
must
when I saw it, I was like,
fight back.
not question. I
This looks
really
cool.
I don't know if you guys use Kickstarter a lot, but I use Kickstarter and also Fig to kind of look for new and
Cover your
interesting projects. Not just because I'm like want to be like that super hipster in my game discoveries, but just because there are a lot of really interesting projects being developed out there. Not all of them get funded, so you never see them. But then you get something like this that it's like, all right, cool, I was a part of that.
Yeah, this looks really cool. This looks cool. Yeah, definitely some Dark Souls vibes for sure. I'll have to check this out. When is this game supposed to be coming out?
It's supposed to come out June of this year.
Okay. No, that was cool. That looks badass.
That's what it said. I think that they'd already started designing it, obviously, at the time that they started their Kickstarter. But yeah, let me look at the updates on it.
So Tsukasa said that they fired 90% of their staff of Telltale Games. It was a huge. What was the lawsuit, Tsukasa? I didn't know anything about this. This is news to me. That's really interesting. But yeah, so
I thought a lot of that was old news, to be completely honest.
Really, I mean, this is the first I've heard of it.
This is the first I've heard of.
Telltale's been defunct for like 2 years, guys.
Oh, I mean, I never really played a lot of. I mean, I knew about the company, but I never really played.
Like,
Same.
I don't know if they. I had a feeling they had some lawsuits, but I remember the story was like 2 years or so ago, almost.
Here, let me grab the GameSpot timeline.
yeah.
It's been 2 years. Yes, English has been 2 years.
Oh yeah, December
Yes.
2018.
Yeah,
That's
September
crazy.
21st, they ended up going under quote major studio closure. It's the same story. They lost 90% of their people. Yeah, it's a
That's
little old.
nuts. That's crazy.
But yeah, and then
Well, that's cool though.
The news is more that they are relaunching with some stuff. Like they do have IPs and they are coming out with newer games again. So they still have some IPs. They are announcing Wolf Among Us 2. I definitely remember that. But they kind of closed and came back. But it's not. It's Telltale Games, but it's not what they were.
Not what they were at the
corporate restructuring. We still have a name.
Exactly.
We'd like to still use it and make money.
Yeah, exactly.
And if the quality's still there from some of the other titles that I like, Wolf Among Us 2, one of my favorite games ever. Easily top 20, no problem, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Especially in the last couple of years. If they can keep pumping out quality like that, and Walking Dead, massively popular. The whole first season of that was just brutal.
Yeah.
And
do you mean the show or do you mean the game?
The game.
Yeah. So I
Telltale
never played the
that,
game.
Wonderful.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, they've made some quality stuff. It just ended up being one of those things where they ended up getting so much work thrown on them all at once, thinking that they can just keep cranking these games out instead of taking their time. Because that's why some of those earlier titles, you get a little bit more. I don't know,
more love.
There's a little bit more to them, whereas they start making like Minecraft story mode, and there's a Batman one, and what?
Jade's like, am I drinking ghost beer? I know, right? It's invisible beer. It's space beer. It's what we drink in the space station.
I never even watched The Walking Dead as the show.
The show was really good.
I
It's
think I
good for a
watched like
while.
the first episode or two when it came out, and then I was just over it. There was
Yeah.
just a lot of really good television on at the same
Mhm.
time, though.
The-
That period is actually known as like the golden era of
Yeah, of television. Yeah,
There's a lot of shit happening.
well, yeah, because you had what? You had Breaking Bad, you had The Walking Dead, you had.
Well, even before that, right? Because it started with, I think, like Lost, The Sopranos, and Mad Men. It's like the beginning of that era, and then the end of it is, as you say, like Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead. And I could not keep up.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit to watch. Yeah,
that much media, and then still do all the other things that I want to do. You know, like I have a job, I have a hobby.
Exactly.
You know,
Game of Thrones too. Yeah,
you can strike. How about strike all of that and then just get balls deep into wrestling instead? How about that one?
yeah. I think that's a big no for me.
Good Lord, you want to talk about, if you want to get deep into something, you'll have literally nothing else to talk about.
See,
I'm okay, thanks.
I just don't get it, man. You know,
no, it was a problem. I had to stop it.
I have so many friends that are into wrestling. I could never get into it, man.
It's fun. You just have to completely suspend disbelief. That's the here's it. This will help you as a person though, because it'll trust me.
Wrestling.
No, here it is. No.
Here we go.
Just a minute. It'll just be a minute. It'll just be a minute. You just turn logic off
for everyone
and went. Fine. And this is what I'll say about it is good wrestling is some of the greatest shit you'll ever see. Bad wrestling is fucking is fucking terrible. But you allow yourself to just have to go in
that we're
completely just going
watch the Super Bowl.
Right, fine. We'll go right by it. Fine.
Yeah.
So what do you guys
allows you to completely suspend disbelief because the weird thing over there is doing a weird thing over there.
I really do try to suspend disbelief in so many things.
I saw a tentacle rock monster
it's really hard
fight a giant waffle one night, and it was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
What in wrestling?
Absolutely, sir.
I think I saw that in Dead Cells.
I'm so confused.
Take a look at Kaiju Big Battle.
I have so many questions about that
green
statement.
Fight, Kaiju Big Battle. It's better. It's not as good as it once was, but Kaiju Big Battle is hilarity. If you want to see giant rubber suit monster combat in a bar in the middle of weird spots, it's hilarious.
See, I don't know if I want to see that though.
No,
I don't know. I don't know if that's what I need in my life right now.
I mean, they're not real. It's fucking rubber Godzilla suits. These guys. There's Hell Monkey.
Godzilla!
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you
There's a giant lizard?
Speaking of wrestling,
there's a giant waffle wrestling a giant thing of chicken noodle soup.
Speaking of wrestling, did you guys see that it was like an indie wrestler that he spit on some kid and then dad beat his ass?
That's a little old news, but yes.
Sorry. The wrestling connoisseur already knows about it. I apologize.
Yeah, it happened like 6 to 8 months ago. Sorry. It's old hat.
Yeah, there was here. Let me see if I can pull up the clip. It's actually pretty funny.
The guy is at some indie promotion. He's playing the heel, and I think he thought the kid. I don't know what his excuse was, but he definitely spat at a kid trying to get heat, and the dad. Let's just say he didn't like it that much.
Oh yeah. The dad here. We'll pull it up here.
Just absolutely just jumps the rail and beats the ever loving.
Here we go. Hold on. Let me pull it up here.
Refunds for Reforged.
So basically,
that's brand new if that's true, because they definitely were banning people for refunds.
This is kind of, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let me show you this video here real quick.
This is hilarious.
So the story is according to the guy that spit on the kid, supposedly the story is that he had gum in his mouth and he
I've had that.
And he didn't mean to spit. That's what he says.
I've actually had that happen to me, but he's a bad guy. He's supposed to do that. There's a guy, he's not Christopher Daniels, but Kazarian.
Yeah, I don't. I
for AEW now. Anyway, the names don't matter.
You literally
His
could have
whole
said
thing
any
is he
name, and I
just-
would have listened to
He
you.
just picks the gum out of his mouth and just heaves
It was Jade Princess, and she spit on Brawlhalla. Okay,
Yeah.
let's
All right, we're gonna
go.
roll that beautiful bean footage. All right.
But
Let's watch this.
I've taken a piece of gum out of the face.
Shitty
Here
phone
it
quality,
comes.
but
Guy coming on it. Yeah, it's just terrible. The guy in the red is the one you're gonna want to pay.
yeah, the guy in the red's one you're gonna watch. Watch him here.
He's just like, oh, boo,
So he
boo.
tries to give the
Look
kid a
at
high
this,
five,
like,
then he
"Oh,
spits
you
at the
want
kid.
something?" No, it's like, suck it. You missed.
Dad just beats his ass.
Take that, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I can't.
Oh my god!
I think I would probably do the same thing
For
in
the
that
audio listeners,
situation.
he just takes his hand away doing like the up five. Oh, you missed me. But in that, he was supposed to like spit his gum out at him into his hand or something, and he wildly misplayed the situation.
Yeah, just spit right at the kid. Yeah.
Oh, and he got a little 1-2.
Yeah, to say the least.
They gave him the old 1-2.
So talking about shit shows, did you
And a
guys
bit of 3 and 4.
did you guys watch this shit show that was the Super Bowl?
I don't think it was a
Yeah.
complete shit show.
did.
I
I
enjoyed
mean,
the game.
it was
There was the overproduced nonsense that I expected it to be, but
yeah,
that's,
but
you know,
like what happened, bro? Like it's just the
what?
Super Bowl
It
used
all
to be
stinks.
like used to get hyped, man. Used to get hyped for like the fucking
Hey,
commercials,
The Rock
dude.
made me hype during the freaking intros, and then they waited another 30 minutes before they did
When
anything.
was the last time you got hyped for Growlum?
I don't know, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that.
Really?
Dude, the Super Bowl commercials were fucking hilarious. They used to be really
Yeah.
funny. Now
Oh,
they're
so
they're-
you mean that you're not even interested in commercials?
no, I'm not.
They were all kind of whatever.
Yeah, they were all bullshit. They were all just like whatever, you know.
They're all trying to be
You know,
holier than
the
thou in
Google
some spots, and
one
then
did
fucking.
Job
Ugh,
deal, and that one hit close to home because, like,
you're cutting out.
for me, I mean, that was a perfectly sad commercial, and it is voiced over by a group of employees, 80-some-year-old grandfather.
What was
For
this, Jade?
me, it's the one that
The
was
Memories
How to
one.
Not Forget Loretta, and you like use OK Google to remind you all these things about a person, and that one hit close to home for me too because like my grandfather lost my grandmother a couple years ago, and he talks about her still all the time, obviously because they were together forever. I thought that one was a good one, and that was a good one also just because as advertising goes, you remember the product. I was talking about this earlier today with Phoenix that the Jason Momoa one was a very, very funny commercial. If you guys didn't see it, this is Jason Momoa. He talks about being
Oh yeah,
home
comfortable in
and
your own
being able
skin.
to be himself, being comfortable in his own skin. And as he walks into his house, he takes off his shoes, which I think a lot of us do. And then as he goes through his house, he continues to take off what you think is going to be like clothes or like a back brace or whatever, just because he wants to chill out. But he instead ends up taking off like his muscle from his arms, and then he takes off like his muscle
There you go.
torso.
I got
and
it. I got
he
it
ends
here.
up being like this really scrawny guy. And the problem with that, as advertising goes, it's very creative, but it's not a good
Yeah, skip
commercial
ahead.
because you have no idea what the product is.
Right, exactly. And that's what they were doing with a lot of things. They were trying to be these like weird sort of
Yeah, that's
like
it.
like trying to elicit these emotions and then just selling you
And I will
bullshit
say
at
the
the end of
last
it
couple
though.
years, the
Oh, he,
Super
like,
Bowl
shrunk.
commercials,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
you
like
gotta
taking
watch.
off all the
It's pretty
things that
good.
make him
the last couple
He
years,
looks like Devin Townsend.
all
Oh, what the
the
fuck?
commercials have gone for shock. They've gone for shock instead of like telling a good story about the product. They've just all become really shock based or heavily emotional based, like the car insurance commercials from a couple years ago
Yeah.
or something.
it's fucking car insurance. Relax.
First, this is so weird. It's so weird.
That was
I do love this commercial because
But what's it
is
for?
clever. Exactly. That's why I called it a bad
All right, you got this. Okay, I got
creative and
this for you.
as far as advertising goes, and I used to work in advertising, it's actually bad.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the fuck
You
he's
don't know what the hell
advertising.
is. Yeah, what it is. Yeah.
And even though they tell you later, like, and they tell you during it that it's for Rocket Mortgage, no one fucking remembers
Well,
that.
yeah.
We just
Fucking
we all
Chevy.
remember bald, bald, scrawny.
You made me hate the most beautiful thing in this world.
So Senwin's brought up a good point. The fucking Chevy commercials, the real people, not actors. My ass. Did you guys ever see the Boston
actual
guy?
real guy? That
Yeah,
shows
he's like,
up in the...
he's like, I just looked this shit up. You guys just made this award up. It's like...
I just don't like them anymore because they're just fucking commercials at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And unless they're doing this grandiose, cool things, like whatever, it's still fucking Doritos or Coke or insurance or whatever. I don't
love
know.
for Sam Elliott though, and I really did appreciate the crossover of Zoomer, or I don't even know what the fuck generation.
I get it, but I'm a salty
but
old.
that crossover with Sam Elliott, ultra
have a
boomer, but
blackness
cool,
in my
ultra,
heart, and I can't get rid of it.
Still
that you
kick
can't
your
melt.
ass because the Roundhouse, thanks, but Roadhouse, but
Roadhouse.
I thought that was good. I thought that was good. With his little mustache doing the dance.
You have to say when you say Roadhouse, you have to say Roadhouse. You have to. That's like a requirement. Roadhouse.
Get out of the Roadhouse.
So yeah, I mean.
Oh my god, we just won a JD Power Award for the best podcast.
Oh my god, did we just get partnered?
I didn't even know.
Oh my god,
Coke Gaming? 10,000 bits?
Oh my god, what's happening right now?
Oh my god, dude! Those fucking ads, man! Jesus Christ!
I just like for me, with Super Bowl stuff goes, it's like I get it being extra. I completely get it. I know it's what I'm gonna have to. I've come to just the realization of like, all right, I'm just gonna have to deal with some of this stuff. But there's too much. I don't need 2 America songs at the beginning. How about we just sing the national anthem and be on?
Fuck
but
yeah!
I don't need a second America song.
I mean, been like, a good one.
Because we went from a thing where we introduced the teams, which got me hyped as fuck. But then it went 2 America songs, a ridiculously overproduced coin flip, a giant commercial which led to some kid running the ball on the field, and then we eventually played. So all the hype that I had from The Rock cutting these great promos for these teams that get me excited for the reason I'm here, I don't give a fuck by the time they fucking kick the ball off.
Yeah.
And there was an actually good football game snuck into all of this other shit.
Yeah.
The game was
really great.
Good.
The Chiefs scored 21 unanswered points when they should have been done, and they come back with 21 unanswered and win the game in the last quarter.
Yeah.
And my friend won $3,000.
I called it earlier in the day. I was asked who I thought would win, and I said the Chiefs. Everyone else was thinking the 49ers, and I am a football guru, is what I've been told. So come to me for your next Super Bowl prediction. I'm better than an octopus. So.
There was
it was a very good game. The San Francisco defense is ferocious.
Yeah.
And until the late third quarter, they were up 20-10, which is hilarious because my friend won the 0-0 on the half and then won the 0-0 and a different score in the third quarter. And that's when we opened the 21-year-old scotch.
There you go. There you go.
Fancy,
That sounds amazing. I would
Oh,
love a 21-year-old scotch.
I'm not a scotch man.
I fucking love scotch.
But what will make you a
love
scotch man is a
Scotchy,
21.
Scotch. So you know what's funny, Jade?
21-year-old scotch will make you a scotch.
Did you try that scotch?
In my
Because you know the Ron Burgundy actually made a scotch. Like he
I
really
did not know that.
and it was actually good. It was actually
What is
good.
it?
That was the craziest part. Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to send me a link to that later, girl. I definitely want to try.
Yeah, you cut out there right there, Jade.
I said you'll have to send me a link later because I really want to try scotch.
Yeah, no, it was really good. It was really
Ron
good.
Burgundy scotch in my belly.
So some of the other topics, Jay, did you have to go soon? Or are you gonna have to roll out of here soon? Or because we got a couple more topics we were gonna talk about.
Well, we've got how much
All
more
right.
time? Only like 5-10 more minutes, right?
Yeah,
What-
however
what do you
long.
want to cover next?
I like to stick to the hour usually.
Okay.
What's next? Or
What do we
can
got?
it be tabled for
s-
next time?
I mean, we
And
can't.
it's
We had
timely.
balancing
Tune
streaming,
in next time, kids.
balancing streaming, career and family. A little bit more of a serious topic. I don't know if you want to take more
Yeah.
time on that.
I think that
and
needs
then-
more time.
Okay.
That could be.
And then we can talk about Trump's dumbass tweet.
On that.
If you want to end it that way, I'm also good
it's
with
just one of those like they're like that's been the story for 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
Like
It's
one,
not.
Which one are we talking about?
It's fake news, bro.
Kansas City in Kansas,
Yeah.
and everyone was talking
There is a
about
Kansas City, Kansas.
how it was going to take a Sharpie to put Kansas City.
There is actually a Kansas
Sharpie
City,
is
Kansas,
tweet.
though. Also,
I know there is, but it's not where the football team is.
right. I understand. They're right next to it, though. They're like right here.
No,
they're rubbing butts.
I think Garland, that those are good meaty topics to dig into next time.
Those are evergreen, baby.
Evergreen.
Instead of
as they say in the biz,
trying to cut them short and end them here, you'll actually want to edit this
Okay,
as
cool.
well. But,
Sounds good.
But no, thank you.
That's been the hour, right?
It has been the hour. We have 1 minute
See what I
left.
mean? You just have a couple of things and you see where it goes. Yeah,
Exactly.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
No problem. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for hanging out. And Phoenix, thanks again, guys.
We
We'll
get
be
enough
back.
subscribers, we'll all have a Ron Burgundy Scotch night.
Exactly. There we go. That sounds amazing. So guys, thank you so much for tuning
$100
in.
donation goes to Scotch.
And thanks everyone for chat.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're gonna Jade and Phoenix are gonna roll out of here,
stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
But we'll be doing it again next week. Are you joining us again next week, Jade?
No, I am not.
They're not.
Well,
Okay, so
perfect
maybe
time to start plugging all your things. Jade, plug your stuff now.
Oh, I thought Garland was still doing his outro.
Well, that's part of the plug. This is plugs time, isn't it?
but
We're leaving. We gotta tell everybody what we're doing.
Yeah, let's do it. What do you got? What do you got, Jade?
Hi, I'm Jade Princess. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone's patience as we work through this tonight. And I am a mod in Growlham's server, and I also stream myself on Twitch at twitch.tv/Jade Princess, and I play a lot of indie games like we were talking about earlier. But and then I also have a lot of salt that goes with them. So stop by sometime.
just a little, just a little bit.
Just a smidgy. Stop by, say hey, and you never know what really you're gonna get. I've been playing through a lot of dungeon crawlers lately. I have been known to make a From Software game appearance on my stream, and then every now and again there's like community Overwatch, but true variety. And thanks again, and you guys have a great night.
You too, Jade. What about you, Phoenix?
At the WHPC on all social media. Facebook. No, we don't do Facebook anymore. Instagram, Twitter. Use the code NERDS at checkout of Respawn Store. Get some delicious beverages. And tune in, twitch.tv/thewhpc for shenanigans probably right after this. If you guys want to do something, I'm more than open, but we're about to figure out what we're doing on my stream. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sometimes we do Smash, live Smash on Fridays from the brand new studio. So
brand new.
For that.
That's exciting.
Brand new studio. Brand new studio. We got the whole thing coming together over here.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Phoenix. So you'll be with us next week, correct?
Jesus, there.
You'll be with us next week, correct?
Yeah, I should probably be around. Assume I'll be around on Mondays.
Okay, 10-4. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna say goodbye to Phoenix. Wait, everybody, wait bye.
Play
to Phoenix.
the music. Hit the outro.
There we go.
Let's
outro.
beat it.